Hello, friends from the GovLab. My name is Dinora Cantu. I'm from Monterrey, Mexico, currently living in Brooklyn, finishing my master in public administration, public and nonprofit management and policy at NYU Wagner. And I wish I could express to you how excited I am to apply to this fellowship. I first really found out about the GovLab through the Government 3.0 class. And truth be told, that class was a game changer. I'm an activist, human rights lawyer, and since I wanted to focus on the advocacy on economic, social, and cultural rights, I thought I should come to Wagner to learn about public policy because all those rights are about public policy. But the tools that I discovered at the Government 3.0 class were like the missing link I was looking for. It was amazing. I was obsessed with thinking, yes, but how do we find new solutions to old problems? I want to make things different. The things that we are doing now are not really making it. And then I started to find out about crowdsourcing, new social movements, big data, how it can inform and better decision making, the new forms of citizens interaction, the creation of new collaborative online communities, the wisdom of a crowd, the new forms of governance, more horizontal, like the internet itself, and it took my daydreaming to another level. It mind blowing. Fortunately, I'm not only about daydreaming, I'm more about make-believe, and that is why I want to join the GovLab team. Because in the end, I think that is what the GovLab is. That's what the GovLab does. But before I share with you now the projects that I have been working on and that allow me to say these things that have me so excited and that have this mix of human rights, public policy, and technology, I want to tell you a little bit about my story, the work I've done. No. You know what? Better than tell you, why not let me show it to you, okay? I'll be back in a second.
En temporada electoral, decenas de presidentes municipales, senadores, diputados dejan sus cargos para buscar un nuevo puesto de elección popular. En algunas regiones los llaman chapulines políticos. En Nuevo León, el caso de Ivonne Álvarez, alcaldesa de Guadalupe, es ejemplar. Se comprometió ante notario a quedarse los 3 años que dura el mandato de presidenta municipal y, sin embargo, pidió licencia para irse de senadora antes de terminar. Un grupo de ciudadanos se inconformó y esta es la historia y es un trabajo de Silver Mesa y Víctor Olvera. Este video es parte de la campaña de un grupo de abogados y ciudadanos que están en contra de los llamados políticos chapulines.
That covers me. I'm unafraid. I believe beyond this place of wrath and tears, beyond the hours that turn to years, I thank whatever gods may be. 9,000 days were set aside, 9,000 days of destiny, 9,000 days to thank gods wherever they may be.
Back again. Yes, the Chapulinazo was an amazing and a very formative experience. And it all happened in a very complex political context. Presidential elections were going on, early claims of electoral fraud, Movimiento Yo Soy 132, but we still managed to have a spotlight. And I believe that happened because we were able to change the conversation. Because Chapulinazo was about citizen action. And citizens started to feel empowered that they could do something that had an actual impact in our political life. But unfortunately, we weren't able to handle the crowd. We literally started receiving millions of emails, Facebook inbox, Twitter messages, phone calls, but how to deal with them, how to allow them and channel them effectively to do something, to join the cause, but to have an actual meaningful participation. Now I realize that that's when the tools that I learned from Government 3.0 kick in, and the way I'm applying them, it's with the actual project I'm working on now. Okay, so let's get our hands dirty and talk about the Open Advocacy Project. Okay, so I started working on this project at the Digital Innovation Lab class at Wagner with Professor Jasmine Foro. 2 weeks ago, I presented it before an idea lab for Mexican students that took place at the John F. Kennedy School of Government. And well, the main goal is to develop an online platform that will nurture a collaborative network of legal practitioners, activists, and stakeholders in supporting and advocating the legalization of cannabis for recreational and therapeutic uses in Mexico. I chose this issue because I'm very concerned with the war on drugs, but the good thing is that if this process works, it can be used for the advocacy of any human rights cause. And well, the strategy is that the platform will crowdsource legal arguments, infographics, and visual media, social media campaign on plaintiffs, with the ultimate goal of creating a ready-to-print, ready-to-be-filed legal motion for constitutional control so that anyone interested can just get online on the plaintiff side, and through a guided interview, they will answer some questions that will automatically fill in and complete the amparo, the motion for constitutional control, so that when they finish, they just click print, and it's ready to be filed. I realize the project is very ambitious, and that's why now I'm taking it apart, and now I'm gonna start experimenting with each of their parts, okay? So for the legal arguments part, there's already a platform going on, like working on, that's called Motus, and law school professors will start testing the platform with students at my alma mater. And for the plaintiff part, I'm gonna start experimenting in 2 ways, first for advice and also for the self-represented litigants issue. So for advice, I'm gonna take on the work that's already been done by expert systems, and my alma mater, I'm also working with my alma mater, so they start using them in their pro bono clinic. And for the self-represented litigants part, there's also a project called Access to Justice that does something similar. And I'm gonna talk to the CIDE to start using it for LGBT rights, since the Supreme Court already solved in favor of LGBT rights, so it's a simple issue, but still that with a guided interview, people will start to fill out their information. They will have their motion for constitutional control. And I also have the questions about legal hackathons and solving through them all of this. Still explorations. As you see, there's much to talk about. There are a lot of things I want to do. I've been passionate about human rights for 15 years, doing pro bono volunteering for 15 years. When my law school didn't have the International Human Rights Law course, we drafted a proposal. A friend and I founded the Human Rights Center. We were professors of international human rights law for 2 years. Before coming to the master, I wanted to leave the Human Rights Center more solid, so I managed to obtain funds, gather more than $500,000 so that students from our law school now can do an internship at the Inter-American Human Rights Court in Costa Rica, or they can participate at the Inter-American Human Rights Moot Court competition at Washington. I'm passionate, I'm driven, I'm focused, I do whatever it takes to give results. I'm used to working in a startup environment because basically startups is what I do. I would love to keep talking, but if you want to know more about me or my work, you can just go online to the Tumblr I created for you, hiremegovlab.tumblr.com. So I hope to hear back from you soon. I'm sure we can be a great team together.